What's up to the gods and the goddess out there? This your boy Z Energy, and we finna get into it about some history stuff. Now, this Confederate flag that we've been seeing for decades, we used to think about a lot of racial um, programming that was happening on the planet for a long time. Because a lot of our people been programmed that way, that we see it as a racist flag, very racist. And I find the narrative to be more what it seemed not to be, because you got to understand a lot of things been mirror flipped, a lot of things been changed, and a lot of history been deleted, burnt, and a lot of history have been um, boxed away at times. But we have to understand that history is still around us in bits and pieces. Just like I was saying about some families have secret, uh, books, as in logs, and I'm gonna say leftover uh, memoirs that have been left behind as blueprints for everybody to look at. So let's get a deep dive into the Confederate flag that everybody seemed to be real sketchy about. And I seen some alternating timelines that was happening at the time. So let's get right into it. Man, we have to understand that racial um, profiling with these Confederate flags been happening on this planet for decades. We see the KKK marching with them. They adopted these flags like it was a thing to do because it was all coded within these flags. So, let me get another picture of these KKK. I just want y'all to know that if y'all see how these flags was used to the utmost. They adopted these flags as if it was theirs. And you're right, it wasn't theirs. I'm here to tell you, those flags do not belong to the most hateful racial group on the planet. And they have to understand that everything in America's land belong to the indigenous people, the copper brown people, the native to the land. The spirits has spoken. Now it's time to let our people know that this is our shit. All right. So there's a lot of things been happening on different timelines, but there was a North and South civil war that was taking place back in the late 1861. They call it the North versus the South, which is the Civil War. The Civil War I found quite mighty strange, but it also is a mirror flip for those who did not understand it. Now, that flag that I was talking about, the one these racist groups seem to be holding, this is a piece of old ancient Confederate Chickamauga, the native flag. And this was a Lookout Mountain flag. This was one of the flags of the original people of this land. This flag, it was never theirs. It's a piece of history, and it's a lot more. A piece of this history is already surfacing all over line. And again, now we're going to look back at the American Civil War in the Wikipedia because they say America it happened 1812 1861 between May 26 and 1865. Remember that. Now the Civil War between the North and the South. Think about it. But it's really called the Cowboys versus the Indians. So we going to look more deep into it. Now, 1861, there was a Confederate officer, right, noted and negotiated with Native American tribes for combat support. That is maybe false and fiction in between because you got to understand some of my tribes have so-called left our people high and dry. They turned their backs on the original people of this land. All right. Now, this war was going on for a long time. Think about it. So I look back on it, KKK marching with the flag of this original land. Then I'm gonna go into the list of wars that happened while the Civil War was playing into role. So it's very impossible that a civil war can happen between a native war that's going on the land. So these is all the wars that took place because everybody wanted a piece of this land so bad. All right. So these are all the native wars. This conflicts, war after war. I just want to let me go ahead and go all the way to 1861, where they saying this civil war. I'm gonna go 1861. There we go, right there. Y'all could now if you can see this right here, where the United States, which is the corporation, the Cap Corp, the frauders, the squatters, was having a dispute with the northern regime of the natives on that side at the time. The Bannock, the Shasharon, and the Pequot clan, which is another tribe. These tribes was going to different levels of war, and that war back then was really called. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right. Let's just say Javepa Wars, right? And these wars was going along it was the Tonto tribes against the United States and Arizona territory. The period began no later than 1861. So how in the hell you gonna have a civil war with the North and South while this is all taking place in the same goddamn spot? Well, I'm here to tell you, it can't happen. They're giving you the truth with the truth at the same time. So you got to understand they're giving you the truth with the truth at the same time. It's just that people need to learn how to take notes and also look back at these dates because these are mirror flip different native wars. These were all the wars that was going on in the United States of the so-called Cap America or United Snakes of America, which is the Americas. These were all the wars were taking place in different time frames from the 19th to the 18th to the 17th century, from the 16th century. These wars been going on for a long damn time. The Gullah Wars. Look at it. 1863. It never stopped, man. These wars was going on so long, people forgot we were fighting that long. It really was. These wars was going very hard in the paint for a long time. Gullah Wars alone, Seminole Wars alone. It was a battle of this resourceful United Snakes of America land and agreements that was broken between the people and the fraud swatters who came and swatted on the land. Everything tied into the peace treaties that went behind our backs, and also these treaties were never signed. They were never signed. So how can you sign something and say it's yours and implement it for other people to come over here to make moves on this land? Separation of colony demagnetized a lot of tribes. It really bothers a lot of questions of unanswered lies that have been told throughout history. Why do we got history? Why do we have school? Why are we teaching our kids this so-called lying behavior program to give the next generation a clue about their real ancestral roots, where we came from, how we came from, what was our culture like, our clothing, the way we speak, the way we talk, the way we was connected with nature, the way we was connected with all tribes on land, because everything was over here was very, very calm, because tribes learned to bond with each other with smoke, which is tobacco or weed, marijuana. But the main thing is vibing with each other's culture and having nice so-called back back out agreements to sit down with each other to enjoy each other's time and presence of the culture. That's what it is. And the Confederate flag, this is a slap in the face to all you so-called racial holding up the flag. That is native blood that you holding in your hand. It's just native blood. It is what it is. This your boy Z Energy God. One love to all the tribes across the nation. Much love. May the ancestor protect everyone on this land that is indigenous. One love, speak truth and justice. And I'm out. Yo.